everyone, welcome back to another Scratcher tutorial. So last time we learned how to make a rabbit hop game. I'll show you how it works. So you control the arrow and then you press spacebar to make it jump, and that's to collect the carrots. So let's get into today's project. So today we're going to make a game called FishBite. I'm going to show you it. So I'll explain you the game. So here it's called FishBite. The instructions are: control the fish using the mouse pointer, collect the seaweed to earn a point, dodge the sharks. If touched, you lose a life. You have 3 in total. Have fun playing and hope you enjoy. Comment your highest score of points in time. So let me show you how it works. So you have to collect the seaweed. If it's touching the shark, the score will decrease by the lives will decrease by 1, and if your lives are all over, it will say dead fishy. So let's create this game. So I'm loading into the Scratch editor, and yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is choose a backdrop, and it's going to be, let's try underwater too. Yeah, that looks nice. So now we're going to make the sprites. So we need a fish, then a shark, and another shark. We're going to draw the other sprites later. We can delete the cat. Then do that to shark, so you don't get confused. And there's 2 sharks, so this is shark 2. Yep, so there are 2 sharks in the game. So what we want to do is drag out 1 green flag clicked as usual. And we're going to go to wearables and make a wearable, and it's going to be called lives. So this is going to keep track of how many lives we have for all sprites. And we're going to make another wearable called points. Then we're going to make another one called time live. It's for later. Okay, so when we start the game, we're going to show wearable lives, because at the end, when it shows like the final image called dead fishy, it will hide the lives because it's already 0. So we want to show wearable lives at the start because it might still hide it after last time. Then we're going to set lives to 3 because you have 3 lives. And we're going to set points to 0. And then we're going to show the fish, because when we show the final image that says dead fishy, the sprites are going to be hidden, so we want to show them again. So now we're going to go to control and drag up forever loop like usual. Then we go to motion, drag out, go to mouse pointer. If you don't know what that is, it will just go to this thing where you used to click stuff. So let's see what happens. So it's setting the wearables and it's showing, and it's going through this thing where you can click stuff. Yeah. So we're going to use time live now. So as you see when I showed you the game, the time alive keeps increasing. So I'm going to show you how to make it do that. So the code's not actually that complicated. All you got to do is change live to time alive, drag it under there, and go to sensing, and then drag out timer and fit it in the slot. What timer will do is that it will show how long the game has been running. So if I do that, it will go back to 0. So what we're going to do is set time alive to timer. We untick this so it won't show. And what it will do is it will just make this a timer, which is really cool. So we're going to go to control and drag on an if statement again. And then we're going to go to operators and drag out or. So if a condition is true, so there will be two conditions. If one condition is true at least, it will do what's inside the loop. So we're going to make it if drag an equals 1 and so we drag out lives and make it 0. But if it hits both sharks at the same time and say the lives is 1, it's gonna be lives are gonna be less than 0. So what we're gonna do is drag lives here. So if lives is less than 0. So if it's like -1, for example, because it touches both sharks, the lives are 1. Go to event and drag out broadcast message 1. We're gonna make it a new message later. So we're gonna make new message and then call it you died. So go to control again and drag out the same statement. Now go to operators and drag out or. And go to sensing and drag out touching. If touching, you just a shark. Sorry. They are both sharks, so if it's touching at least one shark, we want to do what's inside the loop. So we change this to touching shark 2. So if it's touching either of these two sharks, it's gonna go to variables and make it change lives by -1. We want it to hide, because if it stays in the same place, what it will do is the shark's gonna keep biting it because it can't move. So we're gonna go to control and make it wait 1 second, and for like the player to wait a bit before you respawn. And then we're gonna make it go to the up corner, so the coordinates are 140 and 145. That will make it go to the top right corner, and then it's gonna show. So we go to looks and drag out show, and we want to make some sound if it's touching either of the sharks. So we're gonna go to sound, drag out start sound ocean wave, and then change that to. So we're gonna choose a sound, and it's gonna be chomp. Okay, so start sound chomp. So let's see what happens. So if it's touching a shark, it's going to go back here. But you see, if it's going -1, it won't do anything because we haven't done the broadcast yet, but we're going to get onto that. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the code for the sharks. So let's start on the first shark over here. So we're going to drag out one room for a click like usual. We're going to go to looks and make it set size to 75% because they look a bit too big. So that it can be easier for the fish. Then we're going to make it show. Then we go to control, drag out forever. And we're just going to make it go in an endless triangle. So if you go to motion, and you will see glide 1 second to some position. So what that does is it will basically just go, it's the same as going to a position, except it will go more smoothly and glide. So we're going to make 3 positions. It's going to glide to endlessly. And we change this to the positions. So what this will do is it will just make the shark go in an endless upside triangle like this. So it will go here to here to here, then back there. We're gonna make it glide a bit more than one because we want it to go a bit slower so it's easier for the fish. Okay. So that's it for this shark. Now what we're gonna do is store this in the backpack. And then drag it out again. So we're going to change this code slightly as we don't want it to do exactly the same. So what we're going to do is delete that. We're going to make it go to 0, 0 because we're going to make this shark go all over the place. Okay, so forever it's going to move 10 steps. And if we're in the same section here, drag out if on edge bounce, so it just means what it says over here. If it's touching the edge, it will bounce. So I'll show you what happens. So if touching edge, it's just bouncing like that. So if I touch it, it's going to decrease the lives by 1. So yeah. But now we want to make something for the fish to eat actually. And then we're gonna make some seaweed. So it's not in the sprite library, unfortunately, so we have to draw it again. So let's paint the sprite. And I think I'm gonna fast forward this part. Okay, so I've drew seaweed. It's not going to take that long, fortunately. It only took me about 30 to 40 seconds. It's not perfect, but it'll do, like I always say. So now we're going to write the code for the seaweed. So we're going to go to, and now we're going to drag out when we've clicked as usual. We're going to go to looks and make it set size to 50%. We just want to make it a bit smaller. Maybe not. I think 65%, but 50% is going to be a bit small. So we're going to show control, drag out forever, then drag out if statement again. Now go to sensing and drag out touching mouse pointer. Change it to fish. Oh yeah, and change sprite 1 to seaweed. So now you're going to go to variables and drag out change lives by 1, then change that to points. And now we're going to make it go to a random position. So we're going to drag out this. And then go to operator and drag out pick random 1 to 10. Then we're going to make it go into a random position. So this will make it go to a random position all over the screen. Maybe a bit smaller. Okay. Okay, so let's see what happens. So if it's touching the fish, it will change points by 1. Okay, so it's changing points by 1. And you see the points are -1. But one last thing we want to do before we make it broadcast the dead fishy message is we're going to make a sound. So we're going to go to the fish sprite because for some reason I've tested this game before making this video. And when I made a sound when the fish ate the seaweed, then it didn't work for some reason. I don't know why. So what we're going to do is go to fish and drag on another if statement. And then we're going to make if touching seaweed. Sorry, wrong block. Then we're just going to play sound. For some reason it works on the fish code. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a problem with Scratch, I guess, or maybe it's a problem with me. I don't know. Then we're gonna make it play sound collect. I've done this sound before, but I like it, and I don't know what other sound to do, so I guess I'm just doing this. Okay, let's try it. As you see, it will collect the seaweed. Oh, yep, so as you see, it will play sound. So what we need to do is, we're gonna make the dead fishy message. So we're just gonna create a sprite. Paint a sprite. And we're just gonna paint the background black. And I'll probably speed this up too. Okay, I drew it, so I didn't write like the scary face. I don't have the time, but you can decorate your message a bit more, and you can even maybe change your message. So we're gonna write the code for this message. So when green flag clicked as usual, we're gonna go to looks and make it hide, because we want it to show the ocean backdrop so we can play the game. But now we're gonna go to events and drag out when I receive you died. So this is the broadcast. I'm gonna go to looks and make it show. Then we're gonna go to control, and then we're gonna stop all. So we want to show this message when the game is over. So let's see what happens. So let's just die. So now it's going to say this message called Dead Fishy. And we can change this name to Dead Fishy. So yeah guys, the game is done. We can change this to FishBite, which is the name of the game, but you can make your own name. So yeah, I already shared this project because I already made one before. So this game is not as complicated as last time. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and bye.